Okay, let's jump right in. Today we are breaking down one of the most useful tenses in all of Spanish, the Pretérito Perfecto. Seriously, this is your go-to for talking about your life, your travels, everything you've done recently. It's simple, it's powerful, and we're going to get this down in just the next few minutes.
So this question right here, ¿Alguna vez has viajado a otro país? Have you ever traveled to another country? This is a perfect example of what this tense is all about. It's asking about a life experience, without getting bogged down in specific dates. By the time we're done here, you'll be able to ask and answer questions just like this one, no problem.
So, how do we get there? Well, first things first, we got to understand the basics. What exactly is this tense? And, more importantly, when do we actually use it? Getting the why and the when right is the absolute key to using it like you've been speaking Spanish for years.
Here are its two main jobs. First, you use it for things that happened in a time frame that isn't over yet. Think today or this week. And second, it's perfect for those have you ever kind of life experiences. And here's the big idea. This tense always creates a bridge connecting something that happened in the past to right now, the present moment.
All right, now for the how. This is the fun part. And the great news? There's a super simple two-part blueprint for building this tense. Once you see it, it's totally gonna click.
Think of it like a simple recipe. Step 1, you grab a form of the verb haber, which is our little helper verb. Step 2, you add the past participle, which is the main action. Haber plus action. That's it. Let's break down each of those steps.
Okay, let's zoom in on step 1, that all-important helper verb, haber. This little guy does all the heavy lifting. In this context, it translates to have, as in I have done something. Getting this verb right is the first, most crucial piece of the puzzle.
And here are the forms. You just need to match the right one to whoever you're talking about. For I, it's always yo he. For you, it's tu has. For he or she, you use ha. This part is like the engine of the sentence. It always comes first and it gets things moving.
With haber locked in, we now need our main action. This is the past participle, the spoken, eaten, or lived part of the sentence.
And you're going to love this, because for most verbs, it is so simple. You just take off the end of the verb and swap it for a new one. For our verbs, you add ado. So, hablar becomes hablado. And for both AR and ER verbs, you add ido. So comer becomes comido, and vivir becomes vivido. Easy, right?
And this is where the magic happens. You take your piece from the Haber chart, you stick it together with your new participle, and boom, you have a full thought. Yo he hablado, I have spoken. Tú has comido, you have eaten. Ella ha vivido, she has lived. See how that works? A perfect two-part system.
Now, of course, Spanish loves to keep us on our toes. While that ado and ido rule is your best friend most of the time, some of the most common verbs in the entire language decide to play by their own rules.
Now, these guys are the heavy hitters. We're talking about verbs like to do, to say, and to see. Since we use them all the time, memorizing these special forms is one of the best things you can do. For example, I have done isn't he sido, it's he hecho. I have seen is he visto. They don't follow the rule, but you'll hear them so often they'll feel totally normal in no time.
Let's see them in a real sentence. Hoy he hecho mis deberes y he visto una película. Here you can see two of our irregulars, hecho and visto, working perfectly in a natural, everyday sentence describing what someone has done today. See? Not so scary.
So how do you know for sure when to use this tense? Well, Spanish actually gives you clues. Think of them as little trigger words. When you see them, they're a huge signal that the Pretérito Perfecto is the way to go.
What's really cool about this is how each of these words creates that link to the present we talked about earlier. Words like hoy, today, or esta semana, this week, set up an unfinished time period. And words like alguna vez, ever, or todavía no, not yet, frame the action in relation to your life right now. When you see these words, your brain should just light up and think, aha, pretérito perfecto. So, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. The pretérito perfecto is that bridge. If you're talking about something that happened in a time period that is still connected to the present, like today, this month, or even your whole life, this is the tense you need. That connection is everything. Okay, we've gone over the why, the how, and even the tricky exceptions. Enough talk. It's time to put this knowledge into practice. right now.
So what have you done today? Think about it for a second. Grab your A from the Haber chart, pick any verb you want, regular or irregular, and make a sentence. He trabajado, he comido, he estudiado español. You have the blueprint. You have the tools. So, what will you say?